Welcome back. My name is Glenn. I am a National Master, and history has been made. International Master Justus Williams has just achieved a Grandmaster norm. Let's have a look at the game he played against International Master Craig Hilby. And this is from round 2 of the Charlotte Grandmaster International Tournament in November from the I believe it was from the 17th to the 22nd of November, and it is a 9-round tournament. This is the second game, and International Master Justus Williams is playing the black pieces. Let's have a look. Knight to F3, Knight to F6, C4, the English, G6, B4. Now, B4 is an interesting move. I guess he is trying to gain space on the queen side and also inhibit moves like C5. Bishop G7, Bishop B2, double zero, E3. This is all standard book moves. D6, Bishop E2, E5, D6, D3, A5. Now attacking the wing with this A5 move and also putting pressure on the, I believe he wanted the C5 square. When black played a move like A5, he is trying to get this knight from this square to D7 to A5. After, of course, you either take here or you push upon the B5. Let's continue. Pawn push, rook to E8, double zero, E4, gaining space and possibly having the E4 for this knight. Okay? E4, X, X, Bishop X, King X, Queen to C2, Queen F6. Your rook on A1 is hanging. B knight to D2, knight to C5, knight to D4, A4, gaining space on the queen side. Knight to B1, knight to D7, B knight to D7, knight to C3, and the knight traveled to B6. Okay, the knight on B6 is, of course, holding D5, is holding D5, plus is holding this pawn here, correct? This pawn can push at some point in the future, gaining more space on the queen side. A rook to E1, bishop to E6, knight X, queen X, rook to D1, F4. F4, I guess F4, I'm always leery to play moves like that, but it is controlling E4, and I guess it is a good move. Of course, B7, but he played rook to A7, knight to D5, knight X, rook X, queen F6, F rook to D1, knight to D7, G3, rook to E5, rook X E5, queen X E5, rook to D5, queen to F6, rook to D4, and here we go with the move A3. And now we can see why he kept his rook on the A file, because now the rook is keeping guard of this pawn and this pawn. So rook to A7 turned out to be a very nice move, right? Okay. B6. Okay, now B6. The idea, of course, is to open up the position so the bishop can have more scope, and also to open up the queen and the rook. So this is a very interesting move. You don't want to take with the pawn. You don't want to take with the pawn, because if you take this way, now black will have double pawns. This pawn will be fatally weak, and this pawn is also a liability. So he played knight takes, but then he hit him with c5, opening up the position. Knight to d7, cx, and c5. Okay, so we say to ourselves, is black playing for a win? Maybe so, because he gave white this big pawn on d7, and it's only 2 squares from queening. Pawn's only 2 squares from queening. So this is a very controversial way to play for the second player. Okay, but Justin played c5. Nevertheless, rook to d2, knight to e5, bishop back in the fianchetto cave, and then Justin played b6, queen to b3. Not the best, not the best. What he should play in this position is f4. Kicking the knight, asking the knight where he's going to go. Not only that, we are going to open up the position immediately with e4. So if knight to g4, you just push. And if knight takes, queen to b3, and white is winning. If, after f4, knight to d7, will follow up by e4. And you have to capture on e4, because if you do not capture on e4, this is just going to be winning with these 2 pairs pawns. So you have to capture queen x, and now the position looks very tough for black. It looks very tough, but black have counterplay. b5, bishop h3, b4, queen e3, h5 is probably best. Queen to, well, let's look at bishop takes, rook takes, queen to c3, and this position, white is probably better, but black is still fighting. This is a fight. Okay, but I prefer white in this position. So let's look at what happened in the game. He played queen to b3, which is just a bad move. Now, the difference is he played rook. Now the rook got in front of the pawn. It's a big difference. Now if you play f4, now the knight can go to f7, and the difference is this rook is attacking the pawn, and the knight is attacking the pawn, and the queen is attacking the pawn. In the prior position, we had, if f4, we had the prior position, we had knight to d7. So there's a big difference. You see this rook is no longer attacking this pawn. That is a big difference. Okay, and instead of this position that we have on board, or this position. Okay, so this position would be a lot better for the second player. Okay, but white allowed the rook to d7. Then he played f4, knight to f7, queen takes, a3, rook x, queen x, queen to b3, queen d2, h3, h5, a3, check, bishop back, knight coming into the game. White must be careful here. Queen to e6, good move. The knight had to retreat. Pawn push. Queen is threatening g3 with check. King step. Queen check. King up. Queen check. King back. Playing a little dance. Now queen to d6. And white really should keep queens on the board, because if he doesn't keep queens on the board, he just might be lost in it. He had to keep queens on the board, which he did. Then the queen check, queen back, queen dance, Queen to D7, Queen D6, Queen E8, King up, Queen B5, Queen is threatening E3 with check. So he say, if you take E3, I'll take B6. He say, no thank you, King back, Queen check, King to H7, Bishop to G2. Now we want to break up the structure. And you have to be careful in these positions, in these type of positions. Justin is playing a really kind of awkward game here, I would say, because okay, he is given the chances to make mistakes, and he did. He captured. Now he really should just play Queen to C3, defending E3. And now if you capture, my king can just take. Okay, and I kind of keep my structure. I kind of keep my pawn structure. But he didn't do that. He captured, which is a mistake. Queen takes. Now F4 is dangerously weak. He took, check, Queen takes. Queen takes. Okay, White is a pawn down, but he still had great drawing chances because there are so few material on the board, and Black King can become exposed easily. So Queen takes, Queen back, Queen Knight, Bishop. Now we're threatening check from behind. It can get kind of tricky. I guess that check isn't doing much, right? Queen to G8 check I'm considering. So he stepped up. Queen. Now this is just wrong. This is just wrong. You can't trade off queens in this position. I don't know, was he tired, but it's just a very, very bad move. He have to try to keep queens on the board to get any chances of the draw. This is throwing yourself on the sword and just saying I resign because I'm a trade and now the game is over. It is a very simple win with the F pawn advancing now. And at this point, we went here. And this is where International Master Craig Hilby resigned the game. But I am going to show you how the game could have went, which is a elementary win for an IM. Here, pawn push, check, here, check, there, pawn push, push. Queen, I got my queen back. Who cares? Mate. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Good chess. Cheers.